Say what you want about this, but I don't think there has ever in the history of cinema been a better or more simple or more effective piece of marketing than The Park is Open. Yes, if the Jurassic Park sequels were beating a dead horse, then the Jurassic World franchise is the mosquito that sucks the blood from the dead horse so that they can reconstruct it and then beat it to death all over again. But hear me out, honestly, this is the best film in the franchise besides Jurassic Park. This film takes the initial ideas about corporate greed and it translates them into a modern setting to see the path where that would have actually led us in the social media age doing that. And it also just has like a lot of dinosaurs eating people. Like the most in the whole franchise, I think. Jurassic World is the big, dumb, lovable child of Jurassic Park. It stars Chris Pratt, of course. It is, after all, a blockbuster in the 2010s. It also stars Bryce Dallas Howard as corporate businesswoman of evil for an hour, and then... oh damn, for the next hour, pretty much, yes. The entire thing is summed up by The Park is Open. I mean, that is a plot summary, it's a tagline, it's the only piece of marketing they could have possibly needed. It was probably also how they pitched the film initially. Just say the 4 words, put on sunglasses, give them a middle finger, and walk out. Because you know you've just made them an extra $3 billion from doing this. And it's great. It's got Chris Pratt as Owen Grady, who... he trains velociraptors, so he's pretty much the badass brother that Alan Grant would roll his eyes at, like, all the time. Like, he'd go to a family gathering and be like, oh, fuck, I have to see him. And it stars Bryce Dallas Howard as Claire, who runs the park, which makes it so insane that she didn't go to jail at the end of this film. Now, hear me out, because you can make fun of this, you can make fun of the writing in these films, for sure. But the actual, like, story building, I mean, the opening 10 minutes of this is such a great opening 10 minutes for a blockbuster to set it up, you know? Within 10 minutes, they'd established these 2 kids, their characters, Claire's character, that she runs the park. They'd mentioned the words Indominus Rex in the same sentence as the words bigger than a T-Rex. They'd set up everything you needed to know about, the natural progression of how they've gone from, oh, look, God, let's close Jurassic Park, to, oh, let's open this even bigger park. And it is so ridiculous that ends up happening, but also, wouldn't it? Like, modern day? Like, look at the world right now. Wouldn't it? They tried to do Firefest too, guys. This film does not represent, great writing, which is normally something I need to have to say I really love a film. I'm not saying I really love this film. I do very much like it, though. I find it very rewatchable. I think if you take out the superhero genre from the 2010s decade, this and The Force Awakens are probably the 2 big proper blockbuster films that I think of immediately when I think of that decade. They are very defining of their time, and honestly, they're both kind of bangers, and a lot of people hate on both those films. I could really enjoy it, and I think they're really rewatchable, even if you kind of scoff a little bit and go at some of the sillier aspects, or at the script, mostly the script, yeah. You can hate, and I do hate a lot about this franchise. I love individual film, just the one, in this franchise, but I do hate it as a franchise overall because the point of the first film was not to make more. But very much, I feel like even though it cancerously led them down a horrible rabbit hole, the whole genetic engineering new dinosaurs thing, the Indominus Rex was built as an excellent film throughout this film, really well done. Great execution. The other major villain of the film, of course, is Nick Robinson's character. He is a fiend. The way he looks at every woman in the first act petrified me. It was awful. This is not Jurassic Park. That is a breathtaking, incredulous film which crutches every aspect of filmmaking. This doesn't do that. I can absolutely admit that. I'm under no illusions about that. But I do think this is a really well-built, very fun, modern blockbuster, and that's all they really needed to get out of it. The fact that they then continued to get more and more out of it was inevitable from this moment, but also heartbreaking in so many ways. Oh, God. Having said that, even without any great writing in this film, it's something that I regard it highly, as a very fun film. It's very rewatchable. I could stick it on any time and just enjoy it. And you can't say that for, well, the vast majority of films in this franchise, but also the vast majority of films, I find it far more easy watching, enjoyable, which is the curse of the modern blockbuster. They don't have the kind of proper scientific discussions or layers to them that something like Jurassic Park did, but this is a good imitation of it, I would say. It's got good nostalgia for it. It really likes Jurassic Park, and it wants to be a little brother to it, and it does it better than any of the other films in this franchise, so let's give it a bit of a break. It is one of the most easily blockbusterable franchises ever, by the way. The fact that 4 of the 7 films have made $1 billion is practically That just makes me vomit a little bit thinking about it. So I'm giving Hollywood's ultimate money hack 4 stars. Yeah, that is insane. Over half the films. There's never going to be another franchise that does that. The Avatar franchise will have made all of its 7 films $1 billion when it has 7 films in like 80 years. But like, what other franchise has that kind of record, you know?